Hello and greetings, my dear Libra. This is Ron from Terror of the Twin Sun. Welcome to my channel, Terror of the Twin Sun. I am doing a mid-month check-in, a reading. Three portals shall emerge from the reading, and from these three, a form may emerge, something that involves cycles of or patterns of programming, karma, anything from your subconscious could arise, as well as certain motifs that you have with others when it comes to love or meaningful connections with others. Please take only what you will and leave the rest. Um, yeah, also, I am going to be offering a new experiment. Basically, you'll have an option for an extended. You can check it out if you will. The link will be in the detail box. Okay? Now, we'll go ahead and clear the energies, firstly. And, yeah. So, I will be working with the Cartomanzia Italiana deck. It's a deck from, I believe, 1983 from US Game Systems in New York. Yeah, very beautiful deck. So we'll go ahead and get started with that and work on the three portals reading. Now, the third portal is going to have a specific significance because that will be the gateway into essentially another view. It will lead more specifically to the master plan or the number of three, the energy of three, the great sort of structure that you may be encountering in the month of mid-July. So we'll go ahead and get started now. The first portal shall open shortly. Okay. Okay. Okay, there certainly is a power struggle here. Okay. Good. And what is this? What is this leading up to? Too many. Okay. A sense of injustice as well. A cycle that is trying to be broken free. Trying to take back power. You think you've worked too hard for something that doesn't make sense in the end. There's a possibility that it's caused too many cycles of thinking, too many patterns here with the first portal. But there's a sense also that you're letting go of the cycle of pain, the cycle of thought when it comes to this. Be careful that you don't approach this with the meaning of vengeance or the expectation of something where you felt like they blocked you in some sort of way on your path, your spiritual path especially. There's someone here that could not afford it could not afford it, and you had to make a choice. Um, let's see here. Okay, so there may be a great period of silence as well as a great shift in your energy in the month of July. This is for the first portal, so take only what you will from this portal. There's a sense that something is lifting, that your mind is becoming clear, and no longer are you feeling a certain sense of pain after something has ended. There's a shift, and it's as if you finally are coming to some form of clarity. The clarity still isn't fully realized, but you're coming out of a sense of being isolated with a new found truth. This truth has to do with essentially a new cycle or new beginning that could not occur with someone. This someone may portray themselves as being centrally important, very self absorbed in a certain way, and couldn't truly commit in terms of their energetic resources to the situation. There is a sense, though, that you may be seeking some sort of retribution for this. A part of you is bringing a sense of thought or a sense of karma. This thought becomes an action in the energy of someone who could not, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, give you a sense of something that was earned, something that was justly deserved. But because of this, there is a sense that you're definitely on the path or some sort of conquest for vengeance. So you have to really tie that energy back. You have to hold it back. There's a need for you to communicate, and you've put your best foot forward in this. The communication has to deal with a sense of making communication, but also doing so creatively with the thought, with the mind. And you may come to meet this person, and this person does not give you your sense of due, your sense of justice, especially. Um, yeah. On the undercurrent, though, there is a sense that there is a new beginning, and it's moving away, or perhaps to something, and it's very clear that you are using this sense of a new beginning, and you have your best foot forward as well. There's a sense that the only thing that matters is the inspiration. Your inspiration is certainly pushing you forward this month, and it's important for you to embrace that. Okay. Um, yeah, the Fool is all about new beginnings as well as a sense of self. Someone or something that you are committed to will try to pull you back when it comes to you expressing this new endeavor. But the only thing that matters to you is the endeavor, and you are certainly moving forward with that. There also is a tie to this energy of moving back, and your mind is sort of slowly holding you to meet people who are essentially not giving you whether it's money or time or energy or love. They're not doing so because they're very concerned with their own sense of propriety with their world, and their world seems to be crumbling, or they can't find a sense of power or structure in it. You can communicate with this person all you want, but I don't think that they have the resources to give you. There also is the possibility that there's a small lineage here that has to do with communications falling out, a sense of injustice or a sense of bad karma in play. And the Three of Swords did show up earlier, so a sense of betrayal in one way, shape, or form. Whether or not you caused this or they caused this, there is a sense of a fallout, and because of this, the mind is trying to wander back. But rest assured, your crown is clear. The Ten of Swords in the reverse means that there is a sense of an ending, and that completion has occurred. It's your job to really surrender that, or to become numb, to become callous to it, which is a strength within itself. You become hard headed in a way, and that will solidify something. But you have to find the sense of truth, and doing so by meeting people who either of the past or of the future. You will find that they are not what they seem to be claiming themselves to be. Okay. Like I said, the truth is approaching, and there will be a sense that you are going to need to find grounding in the month of July, the rest of the July, because there's something imbalanced, and you have to find a way to really keep your expectations in check, and to find a way to be emotionally balanced and emotionally zen, to the point of you being able to really ground in on your emotions and ground in on the expectations of what is, you know, either readily or not readily available around you. You may be having offers this month, but they're offers of, they're shiny, but they're not really gold, okay? Pardon. Excuse me. I'm still getting over allergies. So we'll go ahead and start with that portal is closed. We'll start with another deck, the second portal, and I'm going to switch over to my very trusty deck here. The Cartomantia Italiana deck can be very treacherous at times. It's quite unstable, but because it does reversals well, I tend to gravitate towards it from time to time. But this is certainly one of my most prized decks, a full deck, and it's a very old deck from 1890. The Grand Alietta deck. Oh, yeah, it's good. Okay, it's ready. Okay. There is a connection here, quite strong, that crowns you. You feel a sense of victory in this connection. Um, and likewise, there's a mirror with someone else. This connection is based on a very strong tie that has to do with a sense of victory or a sense of coming into power. This comes at great cost, though, with the needs to ascend on both sides. There on the crown there is a sense of coming into power, but because of this you share the power game, the power dynamic. Okay, this is a very deep connection, one based on a secret knowledge that has to do with the beginning that could not occur for the time being. However, there is something about the clarity that comes from this, and the energy of looking at each other and trying to understand how to make a choice towards really bringing in a sense of harmony, or a sense of a dream house, or a sense of a fortress, how to solidify and to find protection in the company of each other. It's very strong here. Whether or not you guys are together, or whether or not you've met this person, there is a sense that that within the month of July, the energy will be strong between you two, and there will be a sense that both of you respect each other greatly. There's a sense, a very deep sense of hidden joy, as well as soul propriety between each other. Okay, in the realm of what has occurred in manifestation, this is the second portal, by the way. There is something developing between both of you, an alchemy, that is divided between the structure of passions that can make themselves known and solidify, finding certain gateways or portals and making these come into reality. There is a sense of making the choice together on one side. The other side is this in and out sort of energy. Okay, still great passion occurs here, and it's a very steamy connection, one that, if the alchemy is made correct, can create a very intoxicating philosophy of love. Okay, this is a very deep and intense connection that is based on fire and water, and with that combination comes the steam, comes the vapor of some very intoxicating, inebriating effects. Okay, it's like a love potion. Now, on the unconscious level, there is a shared passion here, very strong, but also at the end of a cycle. Someone that you're dealing with is going through an end. Could be you or them, but it's the end of a great sense of burden when it comes to something. Okay, the other person, and I think it's more of you. You have this viewpoint or this vision of co-creation, but based on a master plan. This is the realm of dharma, and this is the realm of doing what is right because it is deemed right, because it is the method in which you choose to do. This has to do with grounded fruition of architecturally metaphysical ideas or philosophies that arise out of the energy of Jupiter, bringing that with the fire, by pulling from the 10 into the 9 or moving on to the 11. Okay, so there is a sense either of the 9 or the 11 of rods. Okay, that is a very potent combination here, considering the 11 is all about the divine gateway. It's all about leadership and the one and the one. Like I said, that mutual sort of ego reciprocity that is not necessarily a bad thing. It's more of like mutual empowerment, okay, through some sort of sacred or secret alchemy, some chemistry that is based on cosmological heat, okay, very, very heated. The advice is to rise up, to come into power and have the wherewithal to orchestrate in a very placid but methodical way the structures that be when it comes to creating the actual manifestation of this relationship. It's a deep one, very deeply connected, Kundalini like crazy, and it's one based on a story that has to do with separation as well as coming into power, coming into be, and trying to create the structure of harmony. This requires a great deal of patience, okay? Right. I told you that's a really good deck, this one. Right. Let's stick with this deck and we'll go into the third portal. And like I said, there will be an extended after the third portal that links the third portal. There it is again. All right, so that Six of Cups is strong. Okay. So when it comes to this portal, there is a type of commitment that walks the line. It walks the line between chemical righteousness, chemical affordability, the ability to be not hijacked by chemical processes in the connection, but to sort of become empowered in it. Okay, there's something very material about this, very Capricornian, very Saturnian. It requires a great deal of patience to actually understand the nature of this connection. But even the Hierophant is pointing to this. This is the 5, very, very, very creative, very Venusian, but also Taurian, and tied to the bridge between materiality and spirituality. That is the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant is pointing to this connection, and he knows that there is a sense that things have had to occur the way they did, okay? You have already here in this spread, all of these cards except for the Six of Cups is major arcana, okay? The Hierophant is all-knowing, and what the Hierophant knows has to do with the cycle of this. There's a huge element of karma and a huge element of not only restriction and limitation, but devotion and purity of emotion, and trying to ground a sense of all this into some sort of understanding of the cycle of the way things work. Okay, um, there is a fear that is concurrent with this energy, a fear that crowns the, um, uh, the the spread here that has to do with the tower's energy. Okay, the tower is all about bringing down structures of power that does not occur in harmony with the universal aspects of what is sort of implicated. Okay, so we have two towers here, one in reverse, one in the upright, and both of them are being destroyed by the illuminating rays and the illuminating sunshine of the sun. Okay, so the sun comes in and takes down, abdicates, takes away, places a coup on the structures that are egoistic, that are tied to snobbery, or tied to method that doesn't work, tied to power structures that don't work. It's occurring here, and this is something that is feared greatly, but it has to occur because that Six of Rods energy that came up in the past, that has to do also with a sense of arrogance or a sense of propriety through power, through empowerment. Empowerment is good, especially if you both are empowering each other and egging each other on to strive better. But you must realize that in situations of deep connection and love, there is a sense of being empowered through compassion, being empowered through modes of spiritual grace that are a lot more conducive to the realization of human potentials. Okay, um, now there is a balancing act occurring as well, two different truths that occur from this, and it's difficult to understand if this connection truly is a part of what a part of karma, in the better sense of a word, or the worse sense of the word of karma. Karma is essentially action. It's things put into the wheel, put into motion because of certain set designs that are placed between individuals. It's my opinion that the people that end up in these very intense binding situations are doing so to actually learn a lesson, to learn some sort of truth, to find balance within the equation, to find the understanding of why things could not work out in a socialistic way. Okay, but the Hierophant knows. What the Hierophant knows has to do with a story a story of grace, as well as a story of opening up. And not only that, there is a cycle here that is ended. The Ten of Swords here. Ten of Swords showed up in the first portal as well, and because it shows up in the upright, there is a sense of a clear ending as opposed to the Ten of Swords in the reverse, okay, in the first portal. Now, the Ten of Swords in the upright also indicates, with the cross here, a clear discernment, or at least a cutting out of the eight. Okay, so there are 8 swords behind the two, and that adds up to the 10. But basically, the 2 cuts out the 8. Okay, so if there's an 8, it's usually a constriction, some sort of bind within the agency of focus, within the agency of concentration. Here, the X marks the spot, and within that, there's like this critical discernment that has been blocked or at least restricted by by a structure of the mind or some sort of psychology that needs to fall. Okay, so the tower in this case is a good thing because it's the divine or the higher powers that are agents within this connection that is taking out anything that does not fit, especially modes of thought that have become repetitive, that have become crowns or thorns of crowns, crowns of thorns on the mind, that are essentially have become a sense of pain or restriction. The Two of Swords is the energy of Libra. With that, you can cut things out. It's the scissors, and there's a sense that you're cutting out a structure that has been holding you back or holding you imprisoned. Okay, therefore, you're open to receive from the external world as well as from things outside in an emotionally intelligent way. But there's still something holding you back with the Hierophant's energy to the past situation with this karmic energy. Okay, Taurus is here, Libra is here, very strong, Capricorn, as well as Aquarius with the wheel, with a fortune, as well as Scorpio strong here. Okay, Libra strong, and then water placements. The cups are the mode of action, okay? So, yes, we have the swords here. We have the Queen of Swords as well as the Ten of Swords. Swords are just thoughts and minds as well as communication and freedom, trying to make freedom out of a certain situation, out of a situation of pain, for example. It's painful for you to move on, to move into the external world or into the future. There's something about the way that your cup is offered that is sort of veiled and it's not really clear because it's a page energy. So you have to release your guard in order to commerce properly with the future or with anything that has to do with what you're trying to offer to the world in terms of what you can fulfill for others. However, there is still that lingering Six of Cups in the past. Okay, Six of Cups usually indicates mutual harmony through a connection that reaches and spans beyond lifetimes. And it's strong here that whomever you may be dealing with has a bind on you. There's a sense that there's been shifts, very strong shifts, in the months leading up to July and up to a year or two ago. Essentially, strong, big shifts that have to do with karmic resonances, them dealing with karma or them dealing with a shift in their status, trying to break free from situations that are holding them back, or trying to embrace a way to empower themselves in a materialistic way or in a way that is even spiritual, to ascend in a certain way and requires a great deal of transformation. They're going through it, okay? Um, but you're still connected to them, and there's something about it that is still painful for you, but it's giving you a sense of armor or a sense of propriety, a sense of moving forward. But you're still committed to it for some reason, even if you're not in like a proper partnership with this person or you're separated or anything. There's something about it, energetic, this energetic cord. And that's what we're going to focus on in the extended. Okay, so hopefully this resonated. Take what you will. I'll go through um, some clarity, on this, because this is a very strong ass reading, especially with the Hierophant and what's going on in terms of the wheel, how things are shifting. Yeah, definitely. But you guys are meeting head and head. Taurus is strong in this as well as Libra, so be mindful of that. Yeah. All right. So if this is where we leave off, then I bless you, and please take care of yourself in the month of July, my dear Libra. You guys are my best, and I try my best for you. So please take care now. Bye.